In this section, we're just going to look at the zip code, which is an identification number that encodes geographic information. It tells where in the U.S. mail is to be delivered. In 1963, the U.S. Postal Service gave every American post office a 5-digit zip code. ZIP stands for Zone Improvement Plan, and they chose this name to suggest that mail travels more quickly when the zip code is added to the end of the address. And this is true because it's faster to sort mail by the zip code than by looking at the street address. So how do zip codes work? Well, you may have noticed that zip codes go up in number as you travel from east to west. The points farthest to the east have zip codes that begin with a 0, with the lowest zip code being 00601 for Adjuntas, Puerto Rico. And as you go to the west, the zip codes farthest to the west begin with a 9, with the highest zip code being 99950 for Ketchikan, Alaska. So what exactly does the zip code encode? Well, the first digit tells the national area that the zip code falls into. And you saw that those were divided up into colored areas on the map in the last slide. Together with the first digit, the second and third digits identify the sectional center facility, which is the place where the mail goes to be processed and sorted before it's sent to local post offices. And the last two digits identify your local post office or delivery area. Now we have zip codes that have an extra 4 digits added to the end, and these are called the Zip Plus 4 code, which the Postal Service created in 1984. And using these 4 extra digits on the end makes bulk mail eligible for cheaper shipping rates because this makes it easier to sort. It just gives even more information about where the mail is to be delivered. So the first two numbers of the 4-digit suffix represent a delivery sector, which could be several blocks or a group of streets or several office buildings in a city. And the last two numbers divide it up even further, and they might identify a single floor of a large building, a department of a large company, or a group of post office boxes. So you might have noticed that there's no check digit in the zip code or the Zip Plus 4 code. So unlike other identification numbers, we don't have any way to check for errors in zip codes. So instead of using a check digit, the Postal Service can just keep a database of all the current zip codes and check addresses against these. Also, having the wrong zip code might not have as severe consequences as having a wrong identification number somewhere else. The most that will happen is probably that your mail will be a little slower to deliver. Zip codes are also used in other ways besides delivering the mail. The Postal Service uses them to calculate postage for packages. They can tell from the originating zip code and the delivery zip code how far the package has to travel, so they can calculate how much postage to charge. Credit card companies also use zip codes when they can't get a signature, such as for internet transactions. Then a vendor might ask for a zip code to match to the address on record for your credit card. Also, insurance companies use zip codes to help determine insurance rates for their customers. So they can look at the specific statistics for your zip code to determine what your risks are and how much to charge for that area. So this is a short section. What you should know here is how the digits of a zip code are used to identify a geographic area, and also know some other uses of zip codes. Note that there is no practice problem for this section.